recording here. I'm definitely going to turn the volume down so that you can actually hear me. So this is Mount and Blade Warband. This is actually one of the few... I find very few people actually know what game this is when I ask them about it, but tons of online forums, tons of mods that actually go on with this one. This is one of my favorite games of all time. I think I picked it up about, 5 years ago. When it was just called Mount and Blade. Now it's Warband, which is a different version. So I don't have any loaded games, so I'm just going to start a new game. Alright, so welcome adventurer to Mount and Blade Warband. Before beginning the game, you must create your character. Remember that traditional medieval society depict. Anyway, it's basically just giving you the rundown, basically saying that you're easier to become a lord or a mercenary if you choose a male character, so I will play a male character. So you were born years ago in land far away. Your father was... this affects your starting stats. It doesn't really make a huge difference in overall gameplay, but I'm going to say my father was a hunter. And then I spent my early life as a stepchild. I'm setting myself up really to go with the horse archer caricature. So if I'm going to do that, then I want to be a game poacher. And I think we're going to say Wanderlust, to become an adventurer and ride to your destiny. What will the game's saving policy be? Realistic. No quitting on without saving. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to enter my name. I'm just going to go with that. I always do kind of derivatives of my own first name. It just makes my life a little bit easier. So power draw is where your bow comes from. I want to put that up to 3 so I can get a decent bow right off the top. Riding, I want to do horse riding at 3 because then you can get a decent horse. Horse archery, I'm going to bring that one up. One-handed weapons. Archery looks like it's already been maxed out from all the other stuff that I took. I will also do polearms. Not a bad idea to have a lance. You'll see what I mean by the combat mechanics. Alright, we're just going to choose a standard face. Give myself a beard. Choose some spiky hair. Put my age down. Put my hair color to brown. Done. Okay, so I'm going to go to the Kurjik Khanate. Those are the faction that has most of their... Alright, so I just skipped a bunch of stuff, but basically what happened is I end up in this town and there's a bandit that's supposed to be attacking me. So, there's me. So here comes the bandit. I will zoom in. And I didn't hit. That shield is getting in the way. Wait for him to open up and boom! Headshot. Ooh, nice! Ooh, that was a solid kill right there. That's right. I'm not going to bother to pick up any of the stuff. Oh, there's a guy running up to me. What's his name? Oh, the merchant. Oh, are you right? Yes, I'm quite fine. Blah, blah, blah. He takes me into his house. Okay, let's talk to him. Hello, sir. Now, let me explain my proposition. Okay, so long story short, this is the starting mission for everything. Basically, it lets you collect some men and go and fight some bandits. Not a bad way to start if, unlike me, you don't have cheats, which is really my hugest problem. So when you go to a town, you get a menu like this. And this menu, you can go to different parts of the town and stuff. So you can visit the tavern. And what you'll find in the tavern is you might find a book merchant. You could buy some books. I don't have nearly enough money. These are mercenaries. You'll always find mercenaries in the tavern. So if I click on this guy, he says, me and 3 of my mates are looking for a master. We'll join you for 188 dinars. I'm going to say no. Mercenaries starting out are super expensive, and their upkeep is super expensive as well. So here's the merchant. He's the guy I'm supposed to talk to if I want to pursue this quest any further, but I need to first find some men. So I press tab to escape, and I'm going to leave the town because I won't have enough to buy any equipment. So I've got the map here. All of these villages around here, you can recruit people. So if you ride out there, you can recruit them. So you see a party of looters. There's 15 of them. I could probably take them out, but I don't feel like doing that right now. First going to recruit volunteers. So I go to the village center. It just gives you a rundown of their economics and stuff. So it's a very menu-heavy game. Like most of the stuff is done through clicking with menus and stuff. I like the simpler interface as far as that goes. I like the fact that you don't have to keep track of a ton of stuff in real time. You can use menus and lists. Travel time, you can see the map isn't like super detailed. Wow, you normally get about like 3 guys per village. I got 2, so I have an army of 11 people, including myself. And some step bandits. Ooh, if you run into the wrong party at the wrong time, it's really bad. So there's towns, castles, and villages. So if I go to a castle right now, so I was just in a town, that's where you get the tavern and that sort of thing. I approach the gates and hail the guards. You approach the gate. The men on the walls watch you closely. I request entry to the castle. As long as you're not an enemy faction, they will let you in. If you're not at war with that faction, you can't besiege the castle. You can pay to stay here for the night. So if you're really worried about a couple of roving bands of, step bandits, they won't attack a castle. So you can go to the Lord's Hall. This is where you go. It's pretty nice. Every couple of castles have different layouts. They'll have some guards at the front, and so I can go talk to a lord. So, Urumuda Noyan. The title for the Khergits actually is the Noyan part at the end there, but so we're going to talk to Urumuda. Do I know you? No, my name is Raylan, at your service, sir. I am Urumuda Noyan, a vassal of the Khergit Khanate and lord of Distar Castle. Well, you look like a good enough sort. So here are my options. I will always go with, you have any tasks? The Talisk the Grim. So he's murdered some of his men. It's a typical bounty thing. I've played this enough. He may be at Bulugur, which is a village hopefully close by. So I will hunt him down. That is excellent. And you can see my relation with him goes up by 1. The more quests you do, if you rescue them in a battle, the relationship goes up. Here's just an idea of the outside of the castle. So the graphics aren't the best ever, but I've never been super picky with graphics. So the thing I love about this game is the fact that they just create like castles and stuff for you to walk around in. And, you can just pull out your bow, and, hey, I'm on the walls of a castle. And I'm shooting arrows. Woo! Woo! Robin Hood! Okay, not really with the fur. But, yeah, so castles actually get besieged. That's one of the parts of the game that's a little bit broken. I wish they would fix that, is in the sieges. If I can, I'll pull up a video one time, and I'll maybe do a gameplay video to show you a little bit more stuff. Some of the other features of this game are, if I leave, I am going to try to show you guys some combat, actually. So let's try to find a band of merry bandits or looters or something. Maybe we can find them. Oh, looters, right here. Okay, so I'll show you a little bit about what the combat's like. So this will be quite easy. I outnumber them a lot, and they're a lot slower than me. I'm going to wait till daytime. I hate fighting in the dark. It's super annoying. So we'll just follow them. They're still running from me, but I'll easily catch them, so... we're just herding them along. After the fight, I'll show you guys the inventory and stuff. So this game you can easily get on Steam, easily downloaded. I'll try to provide the link in the comment section below. I am gonna have to cut some of this video stuff because I suck at talking on my first video ever. All right, so what do you want? Surrender or die, of course. 11 troops fit for battle against their 4. Now, the quality of the troops can make a difference, but this early in the game, it won't really. Okay, so this is my horse. I'm literally just using the arrow keys to ride here, and I use my mouse to aim, just like you would in any, say, like, first-person shooter game. I have to find them. I can hold down Shift to zoom in a little bit. Do I see them? Ah, there they are. Can you see them? Yeah, there they are. So I can actually shoot from horseback here. So you can see that, the faster you're riding, the more difficult it is to aim. So, oh, nice. So you really have to time it properly. And my troops, my guys, only carrying clubs right now because they're basic recruits. But I picked a small group. These guys just throw rocks. These are the weakest enemies you can face in a game. So we win. Everybody cheers. See, these are my loyal followers. I can capture them if I have prisoner management. So this is the party management page. It almost always looks like this. This is the side where you can, give garrison troops to a castle, or if they're rescued prisoners or captured enemies, you can grab them there. This is where you would update your troopers. I have one class of troopers, the Khergit tribesmen right now. They're set as infantry. The next upgrade will make them skirmishers. The nice thing about the Khergits is all of their things are cavalry units. They're really based off the Mongols. So you can change that. Could change them all to cavalry if I really wanted to, but I'll keep them as infantry. All right, so here's the inventory page. So you can see here I have some dried meat, I have some furs. I have no idea why they give me furs. I think it's just to give you some starting cash to start out. This is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing a rawhide coat. Nothing fancy. You just start off with some basics. So based off the choices that I made, I got a bow and some arrows because of my, at the beginning of the game. I have a really pathetic horse right now. You can get war horses and chargers, which is really nice. They're way faster, way cooler looking. Stones. No, I don't want stones. But some of these I can sell for a little bit of money. I mean, it's not worth much. In fact, I think that nomad armor might actually be better. So here's an example of a party that you might find riding around. So you will either find nobles in castles or patrolling and hunting down bandits and stuff if they're not at war with another faction. I am Raylan. I am Tanju Noyan. Blah, blah, blah. Do you have any tasks for me? Well, there's a group of steppe bandits. Yes, okay. So you really have to spend your time kind of just doing these little quests here and there. I'm not going to provide any cheat codes for you guys because that would be wasting time. You can do what I did and go online and find them just as easily. All right, so I'm going to zoom out here for just a second. I'm going to pause the map. Okay, so I started off in the Khergit Khanate, which you can see is this kind of purple mass of cities and villages over here. What's really tough about being the Khergits is they are kind of caught in the middle. But the nice thing about the Khergits is that because their infantry or their units are all cavalry, it's really tough to take them out in an open field fight. These are the Kingdom of Vagirs. I don't know how to pronounce that. Basically, they're the archer heavy faction with lots of axemen. They kind of are based off, I guess, the Russians from the Middle Ages. Over here you have the light blue. Those are the Nords, which are based off the Norsemen. They have no cavalry whatsoever. They've got really good heavy infantry though. Though if you lead a band of them out into the Khergit territory, you're basically going to get curb stomped. So you have to form a shield wall. You have to be pretty tactical with these guys. Taking their castles is nearly impossible. This is kind of the typical medieval faction, knights and crossbowmen and kind of just a mixed unit. These are the Swadians. They have by far the largest kingdom, but it's squished between all these other kingdoms, so they can get pretty wrecked in the beginning of the game, just as there's 3 or 4 kingdoms ganging up on them. And these are the Rodaks. These are the mountain-dwelling spearmen is kind of their backstory. So they get a lot of big, heavy shields and lots of crossbowmen. So basically these are the guys who hide behind a shield wall and pick you off one by one. Super, super tough. All of their units, infantry units, have higher health than the standard units. So even their heavier infantry are really difficult to kill. Then over here you have the Serenid Sultanate, which is kind of based off of a Bedouin / medieval Arabic or Islamic faction. They're really fun to play. Their Mamelukes, which are their heavy horsemen, are just awesome. They're these steel horsemen who just will plow through anything. So I'm playing the Khergits right now, though, and so we'll see how that goes.